Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to BD Views. I am Mursaleen Siddiqui. The long exile is over. On Christmas Day last year, Tarique Rahman finally touched the soil of Bangladesh. For 17 years, he watched his country from London. Now, he stands at the center of a political storm. His return wasn't just a homecoming. It was a calculated entry into a massive power vacuum. This vacuum was created in August 2024 when the Awami League government collapsed. 5 days after his return, the stakes became even higher. Khaleda Zia, the former Prime Minister and Tarique's mother, passed away. With her death, the last link to the BNP's founding generation is gone. Tarique Rahman is no longer just the heir apparent. He is now the undisputed leader. He is the man leading the BNP toward the February 12 elections. But what kind of country has he returned to? The Bangladesh of 2026 is not the one he left in 2008. The nation is structurally compromised. The previous regime left behind a hollowed-out bureaucracy. The social contract is in shreds. While Muhammad Yunus and the interim government try to manage things, the streets are restless. Power is moving faster than the law. Tarique's presence acts like a high-voltage conductor. He provides a focal point for an opposition that was suppressed for over a decade. For millions, he represents the return of choice. But for others, he represents a past they aren't ready to repeat. Tarique Rahman is not just an outsider. He is a product of the very system he wants to lead. He is the son of two former leaders. This dynastic legacy is a double-edged sword. It gives him instant loyalty from millions. However, it also brings heavy baggage. His past is linked to patronage networks and allegations of corruption. To his supporters, these charges were political theater. To his critics, he represents the elite impunity that has long crippled Bangladeshi democracy. This duality is his biggest challenge. Can it truly change? Recently, Tarique has shifted his tone. He is trying to sound like a statesman. He speaks of minority protection and national unity. He talks about the rule of law. This is a smart move. He knows that the youth who ousted Sheikh Hasina will not accept business as usual. They didn't risk their lives just to swap one ruling elite for another. If Tarique takes power, the pressure will be instant. He will have to reform the judiciary and the election commission. Without these institutional changes, any mandate he wins will be short-lived. The people are no longer patient. They want a leader who builds institutions, not someone who bypasses them. Whether Tarique can actually deliver his reform, or even wants to, remains a major point of doubt. His critics fear that once the cameras are off, the old habits of patronage will return. On the economic front, Tarique doesn't have much room to move. Bangladesh depends on garment exports and foreign investment. There is no room for radical experiments. He will likely follow a path of pragmatic continuity. But the real test isn't the policy, it's the discipline. In the past, Bangladeshi leaders have used the economy to reward loyalists. The temptation to settle old scores will be massive. After 17 years in the wilderness, many in the BNP want their reward. If Tarique allows this rent-seeking behavior, the economy will buckle. Bangladesh is currently fragile. It cannot afford the corruption levels of the past. Then, there is the India factor. For years, New Delhi had a predictable partner in Sheikh Hasina. The BNP, however, has always been viewed with suspicion by India. Tarique is now signaling a reset. He calls it balanced sovereignty. He knows he needs a working relationship with his most powerful neighbor. but he also has to satisfy a domestic population that is wary of Indian influence. It is a delicate balancing act. India must also decide, is a stable Bangladesh under a rival better than a chaotic one? Tarique's success depends on whether he can convince the world and India that he is a stable partner, not a regional disruptor. Ultimately, Tarique Rahman's return is a stress test. It's a test for Bangladesh and for the very idea of democracy in South Asia. This is more than just a family succession. It is a reckoning. For years, the country had managed outcomes. Now, there is genuine political uncertainty. This uncertainty is actually a sign of life. But uncertainty brings risk. Will Tarique Rahman use this chance to rebuild the institutions he once ignored? Or will he revert to the habits that defined his earlier years? History is not on his side. In Bangladesh, the cycle of exile and revenge is a powerful force. Leaders often start with talk of unity and end with the pursuit of absolute power. There is a deep sense of skepticism among the intellectual elite and the Gen Z activists. They wonder if a dynastic heir can ever truly be a democratic reformer. If he fails to rein in his party's grassroots, the country could slide back into chaos. If he fails to prove his integrity, the revolution that cleared his path might eventually turn against him. Tarique Rahman has the stage, but the script is still unwritten. Whether he becomes the architect of a new Bangladesh or just another chapter in his cycle of collapse is the million-dollar question. The world is watching, and the clock is ticking toward February 12. Tarique Rahman stands at a historic crossroads. While his return offers a sense of political continuity for the BNP, his ability to transcend a controversial legacy remains unproven. Whether he can transform from a dynastic heir into a genuine democratic reformer will determine if Bangladesh breaks its cycle of instability. That's all for today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching BD Views. If you find our reports insightful, please subscribe to our channel. Allah Hafiz.